What's up, guys? Happy Motivational Monday. This is Anya Evanson coming at you from Åland, Finland. The house that I'm in right now and the house that I've been staying at for the past 2.5 months is the house that my grandmother actually grew up in when she was a kid. And every single summer since I was a baby, we've been traveling over to this house and spending the summers here in Åland. This is a very rural part of the island where we live. So if I look outside, I see, a barn with cows, and there are fields next door, and there's lots of trees and nature and forests around where I live, which is absolutely a beautiful thing. And every single time I step outside, it's like I'm taking a breath of just pure health when I breathe in the air here. The biggest difference I'd say between here and where I was living in Charleston, South Carolina, is that it's just so much more quiet. Every time when I've come over here during the summer months when I was growing up, it's always felt like I've purified myself a little bit just by being here for those weeks, because I'm always able to just be out in nature and be with myself and really just kind of find that connection to the earthly elements that I honestly just don't get from living in a bigger city. And that was one of the things I was really looking forward to getting again when I decided that I wanted to move here this time around, because I just knew that I needed to get away from this busy life that I was living in Charleston, that I had just been living for honestly the past years. I mean, even before Charleston, I had come straight from college, Savannah, Georgia, where I was also just super busy all the time. And so my last few months in Charleston, I just kind of had gotten this stressful feeling of I just feel like I'm in my car all the time, driving places, sitting in traffic, having 5 million things on my to-do list, so many places to go, so many people to see all the time. I'm just ready for something that's completely the opposite of what I'm experiencing right now. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Charleston. Charleston will always forever have a very, very special place in my heart. And there's a lot that I miss about it now, but it does feel very right for me to be here, and it feels right that I've moved, and it feels right that I don't really know where I'm going next, but I do feel like I know that I'm on the right path. And the craziest thing about that is the fact that I just feel like I'm on the right path is because I've honestly been doing so little. Literally, I've been doing not very much. Work-wise, I've just been working part-time as a coach at this gym. I've spent a lot more time on my physical fitness just because I've had the time, and I've spent a lot of time really just outside, walking around, sitting by the fire, spending time with my parents, reading, sleeping. I've probably slept more in this last 2 months than I did the entire 2019, I feel like. And you know what? Honestly, I have not received more signs from the universe and from God to be still and to really just work on my meditation and work on my peace of mind than I have now. It's absolutely insane. The last 2.5 weeks especially, every single day I was getting some sign. It was either in writing, or it was something I heard, or it was something somebody said, or something I saw. Every single day it was something was brought up about meditation, something was brought up about stillness, something was brought up about just being. And just my gut intuitive feeling, every time I wanted to start doing something or be productive or go, my brain was just so used to in the United States, I've gotten this immediate feeling just saying stop. And honestly, it is not easy for me to just stop, because for the last years, I feel like I was listening more to all these podcasts and videos and reading books on, just go, and hard work is the way to go. And you need to just make sure you're doing more than everybody else. And it was really racking up on me. I really felt like the more I listened to all that stuff, the harder I was being on myself. And sure, the more I was getting done, I guess, the more productive I was being, but it was just not really good for my soul. And so what I really feel like I've been getting here, and what I've been doing, and what my main focus has really just been to take care of my soul, to learn about myself more. Who really am I? What am I really doing? What purpose, what gift do I have to really give to the world? It's been a lot of deep introspective thinking here, let me just tell you. But more importantly than just trying to figure out the answers to these questions all day long, I've been focusing more on being okay with not knowing the answers. And honestly, that hasn't been easy either, especially when I'm 26 years old, I'm living with my parents, I'm working a part-time job, and I really have no clue where I'm going to be living next or what I'm going to be doing next. I don't know if you can really wrap your head around that situation or just how it would feel to be in that situation. Maybe you can, but to me, I feel like that situation can really cause somebody to panic a little bit if they don't consciously try to keep their head on straight. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been trying to keep my head on straight and trusting that things are going to work out in my highest favor, and that as long as I just keep listening and I keep practicing this stillness that I've been told literally by the universe to practice every single day, the answers will come to me. So I feel like I've kind of given you guys a larger backstory of really the message that I actually wanted to talk about today in this Motivational Monday message. But basically what I've realized is that I have always depended on distractions. When I was living in the United States and just pretty much my whole life, whenever I've been in a busy environment, it's super easy for me to just get out of my own head and just do what I see in front of me. And there's so much to take care of and so many things to think about and bills to pay and friends to see. And, I can just constantly keep myself busy. But when you're in a place like this and you really have no choice but to just allow yourself to sit in silence, that can get really tough. But I think it is so incredibly important, and that is just something that I want to stress to you today, that if you can find that silence, I really do think that's where we learn the most about ourselves and that where we can really grow the most. I was a child that grew up with a lot of OCD type thoughts and a lot of mental patterns that were just really hard for me to get through, honestly. I actually also did have OCD at one point when I was little, to where I felt like I needed to touch certain things multiple times. And those same type of OCD type uncontrollable behaviors also were just in my head in the same way, but they didn't have to do with me touching anything physical. It was just basically me feeling like I didn't have control over my mind. That's the easiest way that I can kind of put it. And it was something that I grew out of for the most part, but the biggest triggers when these OCD type thoughts would get back in my head, or where I felt like I was kind of out of control, was when I didn't have something distracting me. And so a lot of summers when we would be over here in Åland and spend weeks at a time here, and I was in a lot more solitude than I was used to being in the United States, that's when I would kind of get triggered, because I would just have so much time to think and just be in my head. And I've gotten better at it, but it's something that I've actually realized has come back a little bit here lately, now that I've been here for several weeks. When I was living in Charleston, I haven't had much of these thoughts in a long time, because I've been so good at keeping myself distracted and keeping myself out of my head and not really facing myself and what I'm really going through, or where these mental patterns are really coming from. And I hope this is all making sense. I really just am trying to relate to somebody out there. But what this is really all coming down to is that I did know that by moving here, I was putting myself in a more susceptible environment to where some of these negative thoughts or mental patterns and irrational fears would have their chance to creep up again. But I also knew that this was something I really need to face. And I've realized that by being in stillness and working on my meditation, it has really made a big change in my life already, just these last couple months. And it's something that I'm really realizing the value in, because we all need stillness to actually be able to look at ourselves and say, who am I? And what fears do I have? And where are they coming from? And what are really my root subconscious thoughts about myself? And then just trying to listen and trying to look for the signs and seeing the signs that the universe is telling me this is what I need to do. It's all helped me just on this journey of self-discovery, and I feel like I've already grown so much. And it's definitely growing pains I'm experiencing as well. This has not been all sunshine and rainbows, and it's not been an easy journey, and a lot of the time I'm having to battle thoughts in my head. But I'm done trying to be distracted. I'm done trying to get confirmation from friends or a significant other that I have in my life. And I'm ready to just decide to be who I want to be and to feel how I want to feel, and not let externals control my thoughts all the time. So what I want to ask you is, when was the last time you really took time to just be still and be with yourself and face yourself? It's a scary thing to just sit down and face yourself, because I know you've got a lot of shit in there, but I think it's so important. It's mandatory in this life if you really want to learn who you really are and what you really are made of. Because so often we're just seeking confirmation from others and we're letting others decide who we are. So an easy way to get started, if you've never meditated before, just download a meditation app. Try Calm or try Headspace. Go spend time in nature and like really spend time, like by yourself, without somebody else, without your phone, without headphones, without electronics, just nothing. Just go spend time in a place where you can breathe and just look around. Also, I'd highly recommend spending time journaling. Let out what you're feeling every now and then. But I do believe that the universe is trying to give us all signs all the time, and that oftentimes we just don't catch them because we're not listening, we're not paying attention, we're not aware. We're thinking of the past or we're worrying about the future. But where you will find answers is in the now. And that's it. So guys, I hope this motivated you a little bit. I hope that you found some inspiration in this video. Thank you so much for listening. I will be back next Monday with more content. So until then, stay motivated, make it a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.